भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama Rama Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Rama 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 Bhagavan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar arpanamastu. By His grace, as usual, we were able to offer His Nama lotuses at His lotus feet. And as usual, we shall continue to offer the Seva lotuses as well at His feet. We have been going through some of the stories which gives glimpses of different aspects of the Guru-disciple relationship. Here is one more story where how the Guru breaks down the barriers, the definitions, the preconceived ideas about everything in this world and beyond of the disciple, until the disciple is reduced to utter helplessness, until the disciple realizes that he is nothing at all. And truly, there would be no trace of selfishness or pride. If the Guru puts you on the pedestal, you can be sure your ruin has just started. Now here is a story about Kabir. We've been seeing some stories of Kabir because Sri Gyanananda Swami of Tirukkovilur, Tapovanam, as he said now and then, quite a few times, every few days in fact, his declaration before an assemblage of devotees in Tapovanam that Yogi Ramsuratkumar was a reincarnation of Kabir. Many of you know that incident when there was a crowd and Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, was there in some corner with the crowd, that Sri Gyanananda Swami asked the devotees there, have you seen Kabir? Have any of you seen Kabir? When everybody thought that he was going to refer to himself as Kabir, they were waiting eagerly. But all that Sri Gyanananda Swami said, here is Kabir, reincarnate, and pointed to Yogi Ramsuratkumar, who was standing there in a corner at the back of the crowd. Now in this story, Kabir became very popular, a popular guru not only in India, but abroad as well. His fame reached up to Persia. And there, one city by name Bokhara was ruled by a king. And the king had inclination from the early years for the company of the sadhus. So he often called the saints and he loved to be with them. One day, right over his bedroom, on the roof, he heard some commotion, some noise. Immediately he shouted from here, "Who are you people? What are you doing there?" On the roof. Then one of them answered, "O king, we have come in search of our camels, which we have lost." Then the king shouted back, "How can you come and search for a camel on a roof? This is ridiculous." Then the people on the roof answered. At the time, the king being the king, was enjoying the comforts, the luxury of being a king. He used to sleep on a bed which had 1 foot length of flowers, so that the bed would be very softy. Now these people on the roof said, "O king, it's only as ridiculous. Our searching for the camels on your roof is only as ridiculous as your inclination towards God with this luxurious life." Now, this came as a slap to the king. He realized that he was living a very rich life, a life of such comfort and luxury, and that his inclination towards God, his leaning towards spirituality, would not go with this kind of luxurious life. Immediately, he decided to leave the kingdom and the wealth that it meant. He wanted to become, he had heard about Kabir, he wanted to become a disciple. So he left Persia, came all the way to India and to Kashi, where Kabir was living. He offered himself as a disciple. Kabir, seeing the disciple and his background, was not willing to accept him as a disciple. But then his wife recommended, being a mother, she said, "Look, this man has come all the way, giving up everything, just to be your disciple. Why won't you experiment with him? Why wouldn't you allow him and see?" So Kabir agreed finally, and then gave him. He said, "You have been living the life of a king, but here you have to do a lot of household work, like a servant." The king said, "Yes, I am prepared for any kind of work. I just want you to accept me as a disciple, and for which sake I am prepared to do anything." So Kabir began to give him all the household work, along with cleaning the ball of wool and bringing firewood, water, and cleaning the house and the courtyard. So there were so many household chores, and the king did it willingly. Now, 6 years passed. 6 years of his tireless service as a servant, a mere servant, in the household of Kabir. Now his wife took pity on this disciple and recommended to Kabir, look, 6 years. He had no complaint, he raised no complaint at all. He has been absolutely obedient and devoted to you. So why won't you give him initiation? Kabir said, I don't think he deserves it. I can give it only when he deserves it. His wife argued, no. Just look at the way he's doing work. I'm sure he deserves it. Then Kabir laughed and said, my dear wife, you do one thing, you can always test it. You gather all this rubbish at home and keep them in a bucket and wait for this disciple to pass by the house. And just when he comes before the door, you pour all that rubbish so that they would fall on his head. Let us see what he has to say. So wife readily agreed, and she had gathered all those peels of those vegetables and then the papers and the extra other rubbish was ready. And just when the king disciple was passing by, she deposited the whole thing from upstairs. From the second floor, she poured everything, and they fell like a heap on his head. He looked up and saw his guru's wife doing that. Then he mumbled something to himself. And what did he say? Had it been Bokaro, my country, you would not have dared to do this to me. Now, Kabir knew what he thought, what he said, and then he told his wife, you see, he is not mature yet, so I cannot give him initiation. So now, another 6 years. Of course, by the time the disciple realized how he reacted to the whole thing, he became even more cautious, more humble, and was doing extra hard work. Another 6 years. And now Kabir himself told his wife, the disciple, the king, has become a disciple, a true disciple now. I'm prepared for initiation. Now the wife, it was wife's turn to argue. How do you know? Okay, you can test it like before. And then he said, you be ready with the rubbish, just like the other time. And when he comes, he passes this way, you can dump the whole thing on his head from above. So this time also the wife did that. A whole lot of rubbish fell right on his head. But the king disciple did not say anything at all. He simply accepted as blessings from the Guru. So Kabir this time called him and just touched him on the head. And the disciple went into waves of ecstasy. So what we think is seva, maybe ordinary household work. In an ashram, When you walk around, it's only for some work, for some seva of the Guru. When you eat, to get strength to do that seva. When you sing, it is naturally the singing of the name. So in an ashram, it is much easier to live for the seva of the Guru, for the nama of the Guru. But for the householders who live in cities, who comes to the ashram rarely, for them, how will they do it? How can he get into this state? Whatever work they have to do in the household, if they think that the house itself belongs to the Guru, and all the members of the family are his slaves, and every work that's being done in the household is only for the sake of the Guru, who lives in the house, alive, vibrantly alive. It's the bhava that matters. And then you keep offering every little thing, cooking, and just serving the food, and other household work, cleaning the house, washing the clothes and the vessels, whatever. If you do it in the spirit of seva to the Guru, all that go to him straight. And to the extent we become humble and offer ourselves in the service of the Guru, to that extent we progress and become fit. So, whatever the Guru does is only for uprooting the ego of the disciple. So let us try to do seva, whether we are in the house or in an office or in the ashram. The spirit of seva is very important. Even our gestures, raising the hand or the fingers for something, is done with remembrance of Guru and as an offering to the Guru. Then all this will become tapasya. And what does it do? It purifies the disciple and prepares him for the final initiation into the ultimate truth. Now we shall offer our today's prayer. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to change the attitude of the world, which is right now one of enmity and violence. We beg you, as the cosmic controller, to bring in peace, unity, order, discipline, and harmony into the lives of people, so that they will live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. Otherwise they will live any way they like and create a philosophy to suit themselves. We also beg you to stop those violent wars that are already going on for a long time and bring in peace and harmony. We beg you to bless the whole world so there will be no thought of enmity, no thought of war in the minds of people. Bhagavan, we also beg you to keep under control those sudden attacks of vicious diseases, killer diseases, and violent furies of nature, and those devastating accidents. And above all this, we beg you again and again and again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind, especially the asuric thoughts responsible for the violence today. whichever country people belong to, whatever religion they have embraced, everyone in this world has to go through some suffering or the other, some time or the other, and that without any help or protection. For it is the law of karma, which is relentless, precise, and unsparing. But then above this is the law of grace. And what is it? There is causeless grace on the part of the divine because of the love of the divine for the compassion for the humanity. Let's appeal to that and pray to Him to reach out to all these people all over the world who have been suffering in some way or the other because of their past karmas, so that they get some relief from that and be lifted to a higher plane. We also pray to you, Bhagavan, to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of the others from unnecessary, unworthy, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. And Bhagavan, we beg you to promote the economy of the country and the country's growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach that high status of the world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. And we pray to you in all intensity for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings so that we assimilate and turn them into Atma Shakti. We also beg you, Bhagavan, to bless us all to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic at all. Please bless our everyday life too, that we run it as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. Bhagavan, we seek that great ultimate truth, the truth of our being, the state of bliss and peace, the state of pure awareness of yours. But then we know our minds are full of latent tendencies of the past karma and worldly desires. So what happens? We get caught up. We get into the trap of the worldliness, because of which there will be sudden attacks of fear, anger, jealousy, vengeance, passion, and sorrow. From one to the other, the mind goes round and round and round, finally landing only in depression and medicine. And we also compare ourselves with other people, ignoring the blessings that we have already received. The more and more you celebrate the blessings that you get from the Master, the more and more you invoke grace. The more and more you complain about life, ignoring all the blessings because you compare yourself with other people. The more and more is the distance between you and God. Bhagavan often said, not only devotion but gratitude to the Guru. That only invokes grace. Otherwise, it provokes the negative forces. Bhagavan, you also declared that the divine name is a very powerful weapon against all our past karmas and the vasanas of the mind. We take refuge in your powerful name and seek your blessings for our early purification. And wherever we live, whatever work falls into our hand, we know it's all your work. Please bless us to do it in the spirit of service, and that joyfully, without any complaint, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that every action of ours will turn into Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from God, it can only be a great blessing. Of course, it's based upon our karmic account. So when the time comes for the play of this karma, the law of karma, and some punishment is awaiting us, we should learn to look upon even the punishment as a blessing from God. It's now meant for our spiritual transformation. And so, obstinately, if you look upon every adversity as a blessing from God, which is the truth, it may be an assumption when we look upon it as a blessing, but it is the truth behind it, and so it will work. It will reveal itself sooner or later how it is a blessing, and every suffering will turn into a higher wisdom, purifying our heart. Otherwise, we will become very bitter in life, we'll resent God, because God is not doing what we expect of Him. He seems to give only punishment after punishment, little realizing that we have invited those punishments by our past karmas. Bhagavan, we beg you to bless us all with gratitude, despite the sufferings of life, which we know now are only blessings in disguise. We seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane, and finally, we seek liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, the root cause of which is the utter selfishness of our ahambhava. We beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot this ahambhava and promote Atma Bhavam so that we all be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in merger with you, or eternal servitude in surrender to you. You, that eternal, supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.